So what I played right now is a A minor pentatonic scale. You may wonder what are scales and why do we need them. So scales are basically kind of group of notes that sounds good together. This like usually they sound good together because there are scales that will have pretty tense sound, okay? And this particular scale I played right now, it's called A minor pentatonic scale. This is one of the most common scales on the guitar, very useful scale, and also very conveniently located on the neck because it's just located in the middle of the fretboard. Can you see? My first finger is on the 5th fret, and when I play my scale, I've got plenty of space to go down or to go up if I want to connect this shape with other shapes because penta means 5. So what does it mean? That there are 5 different pentatonic shapes and they are kind of overlapping together, okay? Right now we are just talking about shape number 1. And shape number 1, it's called shape number 1 because we start from the note that gives the name to this scale. Okay, so look, the first note, if you place your first finger on the 5th fret, 6th string, this note is called A. And this is why the scale that I'm going to play in this position will be called A minor pentatonic scale. So minor, it's A because it's not A, but minor, you may wonder why it's called minor. And it's called minor because the layout of the notes, the spaces that I have here, gives us the sound of the minor scale. It's kind of minor sound. There are also major scales. Can you hear? It sounds different because I've got different spaces between the notes. So this is the difference, okay? So A minor pentatonic scale because here is note A, and minor because it gives us the sound of the minor scale, okay? This kind of the minor scales are sometimes referred to, or minor chords, for instance, are referred as a kind of melancholic, and major as a happier, brighter sounding. The same refers to the scale. So basically, minor is kind of sad, like when I play minor chord. And listen, I've used the scale. And now major will be a bit more happy. So this is the difference, right, between major and minor. So look, let's try to learn quickly this shape. So we are going to start with our first finger on the 5th fret, 6th string. Then the next note will be 8th fret on the 6th string. So we got 2 notes, 5, 8. Then we go to the next string. We've got 5, 7. So look, 5, 8 on the strings, on the 6th string. 5, 7 on the 5th. The next string, we've got exactly the same thing we had before, 5, 7. So if I start from the beginning, I have 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7. Next string, again 5, 7. And this is why this scale is so popular, because it's kind of repetition of same shapes. Like 3 times we hear the same. 1, so 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7. So it's a very useful shape. Look, let's try this one more time. So on the 6th string, got 5, 8. On the 5th string, got 5, 7. On the 4th string, 5, 7. On the 3rd string, 5, 7. And on the strings 1 and 2, we are going to have again 5, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8. And this is our scale. And you can play this scale also backwards. Like this, okay? If you want to go deeper into this scale, I've got a course on my website, guitarcouch.com, in the Academy section. When I go very deep into this pentatonic scale, I explain this in a very broad way. Plenty of exercises, plenty of videos. It's almost 2 hours of recorded videos. And backing tracks, you know, so you can practice your soloing. So have a look at this if you're interested. But let's go back to our scale. So we call this one more time. It's A minor pentatonic scale, okay? If you want to improve with this scale, if you want to better memorize the layout of the notes, what I would do, as soon as I would know this shape and I know how to play this here, I try to move this to different positions, maybe 1 fret down, keeping the same spaces, and the 3rd fret, and maybe 2nd fret, because it's more challenging, right? as you move this, because usually what we do, we memorize our scales in relationship to the dots. So for instance, if you'd stay for too long on the scale and you play this over and over for the next 3 months, let's say, after 3 months, if you decide to change position, it will be very difficult to play in different position of the neck, because the dots will be in different places. Okay, does it make sense? So this is why it's a good idea to, as soon as you learn the shape, to move this around, to memorize this in different places. Okay, so let's go now to the 6th fret with the same shape. So look, the good thing is the layout will be the same. The spaces between the notes will be always the same. And then I can go to the 7th fret and same thing. It won't be a minor, when I change the positions, it won't be a minor pentatonic anymore. It will be something else. It can be like G minor pentatonic or so on, because the root notes are changing, okay? But this is just kind of quick video on how to play pentatonic scale, so I don't go too deep into the root notes. As I said, you can check my course when I go deep into this stuff, okay? So look, pentatonic scale. Now, how can you use this scale? Once you memorize the notes and you know how to play this, you remember the shape. One of the ways to memorize the shape will be to put the backing track on. If you type on YouTube something like A minor pentatonic scale, there will be plenty of backing tracks, and you just put the backing track on, and let's say the backing track, you have the chords, you know, something like this, let's say. And what you can do with this chord, you can just go and play with the backing track. Does it make sense? The scale. So you are kind of getting used to using the scale in a more practical way, kind of away from practicing the scale, just the scale on its own, but you will try to put this more into musical context, okay? And this is when the scale becomes very useful, right? Because practicing the scales just for practicing them, just to develop the finger strength, and you know, to play them quickly, it's just pointless. You want to use this. We are talking about the music, so you want to use this in a musical way, okay? So keep this in mind, that you want to try to, once you learn something new, you want to try to apply this to your music, okay? And try to see how it sounds with different backing tracks, okay? You are not limited just to going up and down with the scale like this. You can just go in an order. You can play a few notes twice. You know, so you can just try to improvise using this scale, okay? If you have any questions, you can always post the question on the forum on the Guitar Couch website, and I will try to help you, okay? So for now, just make sure that you memorize the scale and you know how to play this kind of effortless. It don't have to be at this speed. It can be like this. It doesn't have to be very quick. Remember, okay? It's not about the speed. It's about the quality of the notes that are coming from your guitar, okay? So don't play like this. This is not great. Play slower, but really pay attention to every note so it sounds great, and it's got kind of clear beginning and end. What I mean by this is like I start the note and I finish the note. Look, start and then end of the note, okay? So my note is very well defined at the very beginning and the very end, okay? So try to think about the scales, playing the scales like this. Don't rush. Try to make them sound really good and nice, okay? Because if you start paying attention at this level to the things like making the sounds of the scale, you know, great, it will really affect the way you play the solos in the future, okay? Because you will be kind of already in this mode of paying attention to what is coming from your guitar. All right, great. So have fun, and I see you in the next video.